Welcome to Class 8 of the mini-series. I trust you're getting good value from all the different 24 Life ingredients, and as you put them into practice in your life, then you'll discover new things. You'll discover empowerment that you've had all along but were unaware of. But then there's going to be some stumbling blocks, and that's what the content of this particular class is going to be, is how to deal with the stumbling blocks that we come across as we try to make progress. What I mean specifically is that sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's going fast enough. We're wanting to make changes, we're putting all the effort in, and things just don't seem to be moving along. And this is where we're going to take a step back and we're just going to reframe what we're working with here. So when we consider, we start off with understanding that life is a series of connected and related experiences. So how do those experiences happen? Are they just one piled on top of the other? Or are they connected where this happens and then this happens and they're interrelated? So this could be happening at the same time, partially, but maybe not entirely. And then so there's more of a longer road rather than all this stuff just doesn't bang happen, right? It's kind of like you think about having all your meals, like for the month, all at one sitting. That wouldn't be any kind of pleasure at all. So when we think about each of these micro experiences being connected to the last, and if we can start to enjoy the micro experiences, so now like in the exercises, we're starting to see the micro experiences for what they are. Before, we didn't even realize that that's what was happening. We were just, why isn't this happening, and why is life so miserable, and why do I keep going in circles, and all this type of thing. But then as we come to realize, okay, life is a series of connected and related experiences. The world is perfect as it is, and we're probably still, like for people that concept is new to, they're still struggling a little bit with that, like because we've got such a steeped history in, well, no, we're unworthy and it's nothing perfect and everything is turmoil and everything is wrong and look at this and look at that and look at all the problems. And we haven't come to realize yet that for every yin there's yang, for every black there's white, for every this there's that. And when we realize that if we took any of those opposites away to make it our version of perfect, then we would actually be turning the world towards something imperfect. Because consider that if we took a list from everybody and said, okay, well, let's get rid of this, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of war, let's get rid of these type of actions, what's left? When the only thing that we can do is sit on a beach and drink alcohol-free tequilas, then are we anything more than just robots? It's because there's everything or anything is possible that gives us the free will that we're able to enjoy anything we want. It doesn't mean that we have to participate in any of those things or that it even has to exist. Just the possibility that it can exist is enough to create the phenomenal balance we have in the world of anything being possible, and it's in that anything being possible that where the perfection exists. And so we understand that there's life is a series of connected, related experiences, that everything is perfect as it is, that our subconscious is a collection of everything we've got from very young on, and that when we don't consciously make an effort to change anything, then we're on autopilot, constantly flying the same route, back and forth and back and forth. And even when we try to change, we're on autopilot in the way that we change because we have a certain pattern to the way we do things. So to actually, remember we talked about the blue disc and the red disc, when we're trying to move our conscious out, we've experienced something, we've observed something using the natural thought process, and now we're inspired by something, so now we're thinking, okay, that would be interesting, and so we jump out there and we think, oh, I want that, and we go full-fledged into it, but then after a very short time, we're finding ourselves being pulled back to our old way of being. But now, with being able to read our subconscious, we've got remember we did the exercises where we talked about ice cream or snow or car accident, anything, and then it automatically triggers different things, and through that trigger, we get a flash of light on our subconscious to see what we really think about something, and through that, we get a better understanding of how we truly feel. I'll give you a new example for that, and you'll see more about this in the video about with when we're dealing about exercise and weight gain and loss. But when we start to lose a bit of weight, then what'll happen is we think, okay, that's great, but then pay attention to the thoughts that you have when you look in the mirror and you realize you've lost that weight. And then you'll find a series of negative thoughts because what your subconscious is looking at is not the you that it's so familiar with. Like how many thousands of times have you looked in the mirror at yourself? And then now you're looking and it's a different thing. And there's a certain, while this should normally be a very positive thing of, oh, hey, look what I'm really making progress here. There's actually a negative of, hey, that's not me. And so there's a lot to deal with there about, and that's why people struggle. Like it's one of the multitude of things that's going on in the subconscious that makes weight loss even harder than what it is for what it could be. Once you understand these things, then it becomes much simpler, of course. So then, as we combine all these different life ingredients, now we can start to explore. So we know that thoughts create our physical reality. And so as we're looking at all these different pieces and how it all fits together, it's all connected and related, then we can say, okay, well, if we've been trying to change, but the change isn't coming fast enough, what are we actually saying in that? So we consider, today we're gonna go to a certain mountaintop. So we're gonna take all the micro experiences to go step by step all the way up that mountain to get to the top, to have our picnic there, and then we're gonna come back down again. So that's our journey for today. And then tomorrow we're going to pick a different mountaintop, and now we're going to, step by step, we're going to take all the micro experiences to reach that to complete that journey. But if we look at what we're actually saying when this isn't happening fast enough, so for example, you might be looking to get into a relationship or to improve a relationship or to find something fulfilling in life or to change anything about your life, and you've got the feeling you want the change, and you want that change now. We're so trained on this instant gratification that we've completely lost touch with what we're talking about in regards to the micro experiences. So another name for micro experiences is this, and you're going to be very familiar with it, but we've heard so much about it in a different word. And that word has become so useless because we talk about it, but we don't actually understand what it means. How often have you heard, enjoy the journey? But what exactly is the journey? Is it being at that, is it the end of that journey going to this mountaintop or that mountaintop? Because what we're talking about is, well, I want those results. That means I want to be that journey complete and that journey complete. So now we've got, let's say, a period of 48 hours where we had 2 journeys, but all we've got is the complete journey there and the complete journey there, and we've done that in 2 minutes because we've got that instant gratification. What about the other 47 point something hours? What about all the enjoyment of everything we saw along the way? And that's the disconnect that we have in terms of life, is that and this is what we're, with the 24 life ingredients, as we come to realize, well, if life is a series of connected and related experiences, and the macro experience of that particular journey to that mountaintop is only possible through all the micro experiences, then we can take a step back from that and back to our breathing exercise, and just everything is perfect as it is. But if we can be in each of those micro experiences and just appreciate that in that moment, that we're in the right place at the right time, everything is perfect as it is, and step by step by step, we're going through life and we're going to be experiencing the full journey, but we're going to appreciate every micro experience along the way on that. So take everything you can from this, but remember that when we're trying to rush through it and we go from end of journey to end of journey to end of journey, then we've actually completely ignored that advice to enjoy the journey. But now when you look at it from the perspective of the micro experiences, and that we start to pick and choose what those micro experiences are and enjoy those micro experiences. Savor every spoonful, enjoy every bite of what we're getting in life, so that when we're looking back, then we have, it's not just a blur of, well, I went through this whole miserable time and then I got to this result. And then I went through that miserable time and I got to that result. That's not enjoying the journey. If we appreciate all the steps of where we are to where we want to go, then what we're doing is, if you go back to the video about the spiritual reality creating the physical reality, then we're saying, okay, well, if I've enjoyed this micro experiences, I've picked them, I've chosen them, I've enjoyed them, but then by enjoying the micro experience, what that really means, if we break the micro experience down, is that we're feeling where we're going, and through feeling where we're going, we're giving the universe an even clearer idea about where it is that we want to get to, which makes it even easier for the universe to deliver even more good things into our path for what we want, that's in alignment for where we want to get to. And that by itself not only speeds up the journey, but it also makes it much more beautiful. It gives the universe the opportunity to throw another surprise party for us and surprise us with yet another great thing. But when we're constantly fretting because this is imperfect, if this would just get done, if this would just move along, then life would be okay, then we might have the instant gratification of that particular journey being complete, but then what about the next journey? Are we going to bring the same amount of stress, the same amount of imperfection, and that whole thought process that we've been raised with into life? And we never do find that peace that we know is instantly there when we look at everything as being perfect as it is. So whatever you're facing today, wherever you want to be now, allow that to unfold. Allow those micro experiences to come together. Know, trust, have faith that it's all going to work out the way you think it will, because your thoughts create your reality. You know that from experience. And if you're not realizing that, then start to look at the small things and start to build up some confidence. Start to build some faith in that's how it works. You don't have to believe what I say, but you can believe what you experience. But you have to be willing to take the time to experience it. If you want to have the results without the experience, like, life isn't like watching a movie or reading a book. You're the main character in your life. So have the experiences. It's okay that whatever's going to happen, if you look, no matter how badly you think it's going off the rails, know that what you've got in your heart is the direction that the universe is delivering for you. And the universe is your servant. It's going to bring you exactly what you need. It's not there to trick you or to play some games or anything like that. It's delivering exactly what's in your heart. Pay attention to what you've got in your heart, and you'll be clear on the direction of where your journey is going, and you'll be able to enjoy your journey because you know that each of your micro experiences, you're creating it. You know how you feel about it. So, which is another thing to be aware of, is if you're feeling negative, distract yourself. Move to a different thought. Move away from the negativity. Use that like the concrete curbs on the roadway to steer you back to the positive. And do whatever you have to do to distract yourself, to stay away from the negative thoughts so you can stay on the positive experiences, so that you're feeling it, so that you can live it. I look forward to meeting you, and continue to look through the different videos. Keep going back. You might have listened to it once, listen to it a second, third, fourth time, because every time as you grow, you'll get more and more from it. I look forward to meeting you, and all the best.